Marjorie Taylor Greene is not holding back. She continues to tear into Donald Trump. She's been posting recently that Donald Trump hates women. Donald Trump hates his supporters. She also was saying that the 25th Amendment should be invoked against Donald Trump. As I noted, Marjorie Taylor Greene continues to unleash on Donald Trump. Now, after Donald Trump posted this misogynistic and racist image of Candace Owens, who, by the way, I'm no fan of Candace Owens, but let's just call out what this is. This is a horrific racist image posted by the President of the United States that says, uses rich white men. That's what Donald Trump posted about someone, by the way, who was one of his biggest supporters before. And here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene posted in response. President Trump hates women he can't control, who don't worship him, women who actually worship God and are much more intelligent than he is, women like Candace Owens. This cruel post about Candace Owens looks like something Laura Loomer would conjure up as she gives Trump his talking points, policy decisions, and political advice, which is literally destroying him and the Republican Party. Trump refused to support the women who were victims of Epstein. He called me a traitor for supporting them and not bowing to him. He is attacking Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. Also, the only people in his cabinet that he's either fired or privately told to leave are women. Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, and Lori Chavez-DeRemer. He appointed Elise Stefanik as ambassador to the United Nations, then took it away without a care, even after all she did to support him just because Johnson told him to. No matter what you think about any of us women, as we are all different from each other, whether you like us or not, one thing is incredibly clear. Trump hates women, and posts like this one is going to turn the majority of women in America against him. I will only add, by far the majority of women in America are already against him, Marjorie. She then goes on to post the following. After the news broke that Republicans are working with Donald Trump to get Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon, she writes, I'm shocked that some of my former Republican colleagues on the Oversight Committee are supporting pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. The Epstein survivors are adamantly against her receiving a pardon, as she was one of their main abusers next to Jeffrey Epstein, and they say she is a serial liar. If Trump gives her a pardon, it's a setup for a quid pro quo. She will owe Trump, and she will lie to protect the people he asks her to. Instead, the DOJ and local prosecutors with jurisdiction should be prosecuting the rich, powerful elites who raped and trafficked these brave survivors when they were just teenagers and young, vulnerable women. Why is this so complicated? Go back to your last point. Trump hates women, and Trump was close to Epstein. It's so complicated, as you've said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because it isn't complicated at all. Donald Trump told you, we can't release the files. It'll hurt my friends. They will get hurt by this. And as you know, Donald Trump and Bondi were working, and Trump still is, covering up this child sex trafficking ring. Next, Marjorie Taylor Greene posts the following poll of Gen Z voters. Approval of Donald Trump amongst Gen Z, 24%. Marjorie Taylor Greene writes, any Republican that wants a future with Gen Z support better distance themselves from Donald Trump. He has failed them. She then talks about Donald Trump now supporting an extension of FISA. She goes, House Republicans led by Speaker Johnson should not pass a clean FISA 702 extension like the one Trump is demanding. Warrantless wiretaps connected to foreign interests. However, there are people who say it could be abused because it brings in conduct here in the United States without warrants if they are suspected of having contacts with people outside of the country. She says this is another betrayal, as Trump himself demanded warrant requirements for FISA. because it was used to spy on his campaign. Oh, and hundreds of thousands of Americans. FISA 702 must have a warrant requirement and proactive measures to stop our government from spying on Americans. Johnson is going to try every trick in the book to deliver for the deep state with a clean FISA extension because Trump now demands it. Johnson's usual lies and excuses should be in peak performance next week as he tries to pass a clean FISA 702 reauthorization. Also, where is his health care plan that he claimed he had ready back in the fall? Crickets, crickets, crickets. Nowhere. You get nothing. The government you fund gets whatever it wants. Then she was responding to Chris LaCivita, one of Donald Trump's top strategists, and she goes, yes, I am proudly a former Trumper because I have too much dignity and self-respect to serve in a feckless, weak neocon Congress that refuses to deliver our campaign promises. And under the president, I helped more than anyone. Remember when you hated him, Chris? Because he called women getting raped at 14 and 16 years old a hoax and protected the Epstein class, his friends, and then called me a traitor because I stood with women who were raped and not him. Oh, not to mention he was mad at me for voting no on his crypto bill and not praising him for bombing Iran because Bibi told him to. You know what a traitor is, big boy? An American who serves foreign countries. She then posts this poll right here. It's a Fox News poll showing Americans prefer Democrats to Republicans on the economy by a +4 margin for the first time since 2010. Marjorie Taylor Greene writes, take into consideration that under Biden, Kamala, and full Democrat control, we hit 9% inflation. But under Trump, JD, and Republicans, they are failing so badly on cost of living and domestic issues that on a Fox News poll, Americans prefer Democrats on the economy. She then gave a interview with Shannon Joy where she was not holding back. She said that Donald Trump sold out to big tech, pharma, the Israel lobby, and the military-industrial complex to get his second term. Miriam Adelson is the perfect example. She gave Donald Trump hundreds of millions of dollars. In 2021, he went into 4 years of basically exile where the entire system had kicked him out. What he had to do along the way is he made deals with powerful people, rich people, the donor class. Tech got behind him and gave them their resources and used their platforms any way they could to help him get elected. The military-industrial complex loves Donald Trump. Why? Because he talks Congress into funding the biggest military budgets you've ever seen. He wants $1.5 trillion for the next one. What was the exchange? He wanted to be president again. His pride is enormous. He wants to be in the limelight. He wants gold statues. He wants his name everywhere. That's what he received. He's literally delivering for all the people that funded him the most. He's not delivering for you. The big donors, they get to go to Mar-a-Lago parties and they get to go to the White House. Look at the people that came in and had dinner with the president. They are all people that censored you and kicked you off of social media. What he gave away the most was for the secular government of Israel and their military who they want to bomb. Trump made that deal and said, I will do it for you. Here she is on Shannon Joy, just so you can hear it for yourself. Play this clip.
We started moving into the Epstein files, and everyone remembers that battle. That was the biggest battle on the planet, like the hardest thing to accomplish.
Yeah.
And he had his administration, the White House, telling the Speaker and Leader Thune, so Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune, stop this. Do not pass any resolution to release the Epstein files. He told Pam Bondi at the DOJ, no matter what you think of Pam Bondi, he flat out told her, do not release the Epstein files. He was blocking everybody.
It was all him because there's a huge narrative out there that it's all Pam Bondi's fault. That
they want to make it Pam Bondi.
Undermining him. You're saying that, to your knowledge, he was driving this bus. Trump drove the bus to suppress the Epstein files, according to what you witnessed.
I know he did. And I don't have any knowledge of him and Pam Bondi's personal conversations, but I know he was telling everyone not to release the files. Mm-hmm. And his reasoning is people are going to get hurt, is what he said. He kept saying that. He was publicly saying it's a Democrat hoax. It's a Democrat hoax, blah, blah. He was saying all this stuff and shaming people. But behind the scenes, he was telling all of us, he was telling Mike Johnson, he's telling everybody, telling Pam Bondi, people are going to get hurt. And who he was talking about, what he told me on the phone, our final conversation, when he had really had it with me because I wouldn't take my name off the discharge petition.
Good for you.
And I was publicly saying over and over again, release the Epstein files. He told me, he said, my friends will get hurt. So he's talking about his friends. He told me, people you know, Marjorie, people at Mar-a-Lago, they're going to get hurt. And I said, people have already gotten hurt. There's over 1,000 women that have been raped by Jeffrey Epstein and are accusing others. And they've told the FBI, they've told the police, they have been trying for years to get justice for this. Right. I was like, people already have been hurt.
More from Marjorie Taylor Greene on Shannon Joy. Let's play this clip.
So Big Pharma was easy for him. The military industrial complex loves Donald Trump. Why? Because he talks Congress into funding the biggest military budgets you've ever seen. And he wants $1.5 trillion on the next one. So of course, so he had all these groups. So I'm describing, sorry, I'm being long-winded, but
no, keep going because you're naming all of the money pots. APAC, Tech Bros, Big Pharma, the military industrial complex, big banksters, right? Like all of the criminals who have always controlled presidents throughout history, all coalescing around Donald Trump. And he just sold out.
He made the deal, art of the deal. That was his art of the deal. So for what did Trump do? He said, what did he want? What was the exchange? He wanted to be president again. That's what his pride is enormous. He's
naming rights.
Yeah, he wanted it all to be in the limelight. He wants to stand in the center arena. He wants it. He wants the golden statues. He wants his name everywhere. That's what he received. But what he had to give away was, I'll give you what you want. And he's done it. And you literally, if you open your eyes and look at his actions, he's literally delivering for all the people that funded him the most. He's not delivering for you. You guys received an annoying amount of text messages that said, my father is disappointed in you. Why haven't we heard from you?
Abusive.
Demanding your money, emails 20 a day, is crap in the mail. You got berated constantly to donate your $10, your $50, your $100. You might have even wrote $1,000 check. That's what you guys got. But the big donors, they got to go to the Mar-a-Lago parties and they still get to go. They get to go to the White House. They have lunches and dinners. For the love of God, look at the people that came in and had dinner with the president. They're the people that censored you.
And then as Donald Trump continues to attack Megyn Kelly, here's what she had to say. Let's play it.
The American public is so short-sighted, but it's just their frustration. They feel like they gave Trump a year and a half. He's done nothing other than make things worse. This is how they feel if you read the polls. And they're pissed. They're not feeling pro-GOP right now for a variety of reasons. They don't tend to like the tariffs. I still am open-minded to them, but I don't speak for the independents, even though I am one. They don't like the war. They don't like what's happening in their bank accounts. And they're starting to think the Democrats might be the better option on the economy. 52% say they prefer Democrats compared to 48% who say they like the Republicans when it comes to who should manage the economy. And the highly respected Cook Political Report is out today with new analysis ahead of the midterms. I'm just going to read you their opening sentence. It reads, quote, for Republican candidates running in competitive House districts, okay, Republican candidates running in competitive House districts, the Cook Political Report's Battleground District project, I should say, is a flashing red warning light for the fall. Flashing red warning light.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not actually be subscribed. So double check. Help us get to 7 million subscribers. We're getting close, but we need your help. Share this podcast, share this YouTube channel with friends, family, and coworkers. Double check that you're subscribed and double check that your notifications are turned on. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.